Welcome back to episode 38 of G'day from the USA. I'm your host, Lady Amanda, and I thought it would be fun to have a chat about what it's really like for an Australian living and working in the USA. My co-host this week is back again, our favourite Canadian, Julie.
Good morning.
G'day, welcome back.
Yeah, you're going to get sick of and tired of me.
Never. Julie was, of course, born and raised in Kamloops, Canada, now lives in Battleground, Washington, and Julie is as Canadian as ketchup popcorn.
Oh, yum.
She bought some back.
Wendy sent that for us.
Oh, thanks, Wendy. Yeah, it's a taste test.
It was delicious.
It had a very vinegary taste.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess that's what ketchup is, sugar and vinegar. What is ketchup? Obviously we call it tomato sauce, but what would you say? Vinegary?
Vinegary, some kind of tomato.
You think?
And which did you just say tomato?
Tomato.
Tomato.
You say tomato in Canada?
No, I think they say tomato, but down here they say tomato.
Wait, you really do say tomato in Canada? I can't picture that.
Tomato?
I mean, you're the Canadian.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yeah. How do you say the the thing that you drive your cars into at the house?
A carport?
No. It's got doors.
A garage?
Yeah, see, garage. Down here they say
Garage. Huh. Interesting. You know how when you've been here so long, you struggle to remember what you say back home?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right. I think I said on an episode long time ago, like one of the words I struggle with is the color gray. Like, do you spell it G-R-E-Y or G-R-A-Y?
I don't know.
Remember.
I feel like I do it differently every time.
Yeah.
I probably do it more G-R-A-Y because I had a pet once called Grayson.
Okay.
And I would spell it with an A.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
How has your week been? A little bit sick?
Yeah.
We both have been under the weather.
Yeah, I think it's probably just the drizzly, rainy weather. Yeah, I've been outside kind of in the drizzle for a couple days. But, I need to get better.
Yes, because you're going away this weekend.
We're going away this weekend.
Yes. Tell us about your fun weekend plans.
So, our niece on David's side, Jamie, is getting married in southern Idaho. So it's in the Boise area.
I like that. It's beautiful there.
Yeah.
Have you been before?
Yeah, I've been through there a lot, and then in my past I spent some time around there. And so luckily we did think a few days ago that they were talking the pass, which is outside of Pendleton, Oregon, you know?
Yes.
It's called Cabbage Hill, and they were saying that it was going to be very snowy.
Oh, like difficult to cross.
Mm-hmm. And we almost thought about taking the truck with the chains and all that, but I think we'll still be fine taking the car.
What will it be like there? Like, what will the weather be like?
I think it might be similar to here.
Okay, so it probably is going to be a little bit drizzly.
Oh, maybe I should take an umbrella.
Okay, so was there a reason that she picked this season as opposed to some beautiful weather?
Okay, well, I think mainly, so you've met Jamie.
I have. Amazing, lovely girl.
Isn't she cute?
Stunning, yes.
And I don't believe you met her fiancé,
Never,
boyfriend.
but I did see the wedding. No, the engagement photos.
So he is a bull rider in professional rodeos.
Oh.
And I believe, the season for them has ended.
Right, so he's got the free time.
So he's got the free time.
He would be fascinating as a guest on this. A professional bull rider.
Yeah.
Like my first question, how many broken bones have you had?
Oh, he's probably had a lot.
Like I'm so fascinated by this now.
I think he has some teeth missing. Maybe I'm not sure.
I love this. No, I don't love that he's got missing teeth, but I would be so fascinated by someone of this profession.
Yeah. So we're going to go out. We rented a VRBO house, and that'll be nice because it'll be nicer than just staying in a hotel room. Has jacuzzi tub.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because I think one of your headphones is inverted. That one, like that one. Yeah, that one.
What do I do?
No, flick it down. Yeah, flick that. No, not that way. Just like that, so you can actually hear. Like the soft bit should be against your ear.
Oh well. I can still hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you, but I see that it's wrong.
Well, we are currently on location.
Yes,
at,
we are. We went
Julie's
very
house.
far. Yeah, went over to my house. So I guess I should have.
I
Yeah.
set up the equipment, and I think I've just handed it to her. Look, you just keep talking, and I'll fix this for you.
Okay.
I feel bad for you.
Well, it feels fine, but about the wedding. So we're driving over, renting there. Oh, I even hear myself better now. I couldn't hear myself before. I thought that was normal. That's all right.
Yeah, I set up the equipment.
Yeah,
and
she said just put this on. And so
I didn't really take much notice of how I handed it to her.
Anyway, so the wedding's in Idaho. It'll be fun. I'll let you know when we get back, and it'll be a little getaway.
Are you going to do a road trip on the way there or just straight there? Because I'm all about the stopping to see the big ball of string or whatever.
No, on the way there, and then I've been that way so many times. And there's not a lot between here.
Oh, there's a lot. I've done that, and there's like so many. Like there's this little Chinese cemetery, and there's lots of random things.
Really?
Oh, I can show you stuff on that.
So I always go from Portland to Highway 97, Biggs Junction. Stop at the Pilot Truck Stop for good bathroom stop,
and don't light Cinnabons. And then from there, maybe we'll stop the other side of Pendleton. I don't know. Nice.
And then up, over, and down, and you're in Boise area.
Love it. How many hours?
I think it's like 6, maybe.
Huh. That's not bad.
Not too bad. No. Yeah. So, anyways, when you came over this morning, I was just, kind of putting around the house, and
I'm just going to put it out there. Julie is a drug dealer, drug pusher. I'd say drug pusher because you don't actually deal, you just push.
Yeah.
The second I get there, she's already sliding a carrot cake across to me.
A cupcake, a 2-bite cupcake, carrot cake, 2-bite cupcake.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, the second you get to a house, it's pushing. She's basically a crack dealer.
Junkie.
Sugar junkie. Yeah.
Yeah. I do have an addiction. It's, I can imagine how people that are addicted to, like seriously addicted to drugs or alcohol or whatever, because I'm addicted to sugar.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I am too.
And it's not even, I'm not trying to be funny, but yeah, I kind of am.
12-step program.
12-step program.
I think there actually is one.
There is one for eating, and then you go and you say, my name is Julie, and
I'm an overeater.
I'm an overeater.
Yes.
Anyways. So
I probably need this myself.
So have you had a good week this week?
I did have a good week. I helped you out, actually. Well, not you. You, but in your entire hospital. Mm-hmm. I went to the Family and Friends Day at the strike. So basically, yeah, can you explain? Someone asked me what was the strike for, and I said better wages, better benefits, but you probably can explain it better. So the hospital that you work at has, you've worked there, was it 17 years?
17 years, going on 18 years.
And you've never had a strike in all this time.
No.
So it's quite extreme that it has come to this.
Yes. And we've been a union, grouped as a union for, I can't even really remember, maybe 5 years. I give or take it's not much less than that, but maybe it's more than that. Time goes really fast. But so we are a union of a huge group of people, about 1,400 members. They call it the Tech and Service Union. So we have everything from all the tech people, like X-ray techs, surgical techs, radiology techs, and then respiratory therapists, all the CNA, which stands for Certified Nursing Assistant. There's hundreds of those people. And then we have all the kitchen staff, the housekeeping, just a lot of people in this group. And so, it's a great big, long, complicated story. But the length of time that I have been, and I'll be careful what I say, though really everybody's pretty vocal about it. It's no surprise that we feel like the top end of our company, which is like most companies, they make way too much money and they don't do enough.
I did read in the newspaper that the CEO made $6 million last year.
Yeah, over $6 million.
And I worked out that was $3,000 a minute based on a 40-hour week.
And even she got a tip on top of that.
A tip?
A tip.
Oh, because $6 million wasn't enough?
Yeah, yeah.
How do we get these jobs?
I don't know. And so then there was a lady that spoke on, and some of the top execs, they kind of come and go fairly rapidly, as you could probably guess. Like they might be, like this person, probably a year or two from now, she won't be there. It'll be somebody else.
She'd take her 12, 18, 24 million.
Yeah, she'll make her big money and hit the road and go somewhere else. But like one of the ladies that was speaking on, and so this is just offensive to me. So all these people are on strike. So these are people that do really important jobs, whatever it is, it's important. So if a patient discharges and they need the room cleaned for the next patient that's coming up from the emergency department, it needs to be cleaned. So if those housekeepers aren't there, it's not getting cleaned. So it's just important. So a lady was speaking on the Portland news. So we have all our Vancouver information goes through Portland. Mm-hmm. I didn't even recognize her or recognize her name. I Googled her later. She's only been there. It was a year last September.
Wow.
And, what is a little bit offensive is she's saying that everything is 100% good. Our nurses, RNs, registered nurses, and the doctors are all still there. So we're 100% at capacity. Everything's wonderful.
Basically
work
lying.
is normal. Yeah. And, darn well, it's not like that.
Right.
So I think basically it's, yes, wages.
Yeah.
It's all the other things. More important to me, I think it's how they treat some of the people. Mm-hmm. And that's important to me. I mean, I work, of course, I like my job, but I work just to pay my bills and go on vacation and do things. But I don't like it when our management, and that's pretty much, in my opinion, all of our management, they don't treat us very well.
Yeah, I don't like that. I did have fun at this strike. I'm not going to lie. It felt like a party.
Yeah, I think that's why I got a little bit of cold the day before I was out, and it was
so drizzly,
raining, and I didn't wear heavy enough clothes. But it is amazing who is out there. Like, these are people that have been there even much longer than I have, and very important jobs.
Yeah,
and they're out there striking, and I feel like, if they're out there, I should be out there
in
too.
the trenches. We literally was in the trenches. Mm-hmm. I met someone.
I was trying to make the trucks honk.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of honking, a lot of good community support.
That's what I felt. And we went to Starbucks to get a drink and warm up, and even the people that and they were buying like the strikers or the hospital staff, like coffees and stuff, like just the community.
Yeah.
And, like there was like little trumpets and horns and foghorns, and like it was just a cool atmosphere.
Remember the last week or whenever it was after I bought my foghorns and you were over and I tested them out.
Yeah. No, deafened me.
They are, you can use them on a boat. So they're called these boat foghorns. So
they're so
really,
loud.
Really, really loud.
And Ashley kept standing next to me.
I gave her one. Yeah.
Oh, it was you. You're the one to blame. But they had pizza. They were doing burgers. Like, it was actually cool. Yeah. And I felt like I came away with a show bag. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but Australians will get the reference. But it's like when you leave, you have all this stuff. Like,
it's like swag.
Swag. Like, I had a long sleeve T-shirt.
Yep.
I don't know why you call them a long sleeve T-shirt, but yeah, that. A scarf, a hat.
Well, what would you call it?
I don't know now. Just a top, a long sleeve top. Yeah.
And everything's red with red logo on it.
But yeah, I felt like I got all this swag. So when I came home, I was like, new clothes.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I would do it again.
Well, you know what? So this strike, it ends Friday night, I believe at midnight. So people that are scheduled Saturday, I'm not scheduled till Tuesday, but people that are scheduled Saturday will go into work. So the union made the decision, which good decision, was to have a close-ended strike, so give the hospital a certain number of days. So they chose 5. because the hospital was going to cut everyone's health insurance, which is insane for a Catholic hospital to say to your longtime employees, oops, you don't have health insurance anymore.
And that is very American. Like if you don't have health insurance and you're hit by a bus, that could be $300,000.
Oh,
and
well,
I'm not
at
even
least
kidding.
it will bankrupt you.
I had a friend that was bitten by a dog and had to have surgery on her thumb, and it was $20,000. She didn't even stay in. I think she might have stayed one night. $20,000.
Yeah,
and she had no insurance. She had the dog owner wasn't going to pay. You know what I mean? It just
So listeners like my family in Canada, your family in Australia, probably don't even
understand this.
Understand the whole thing about health insurance, and that's the other thing why, we normally work till we're 65, because then we get on. We would get on Medicare.
Right.
Medicare.
Okay.
At 65.
Yeah.
So you get on that. Plus then you would have a supplemental insurance that you might pay $100 or $200 a month for that.
Yeah.
So then you would have two insurances.
So what do you think will come out of it? Do you think the hospital will now negotiate? Like, do you think something's going to happen from this strike?
Well, I hope they do. The couple of weeks building up to this, they didn't even really want to negotiate. They said they were busy getting ready for the strike.
Right.
So they didn't even come to the table. On the union side, they had said 24/7, we're available, give us a call, and bam, we're ready. So I really believe if they don't want to, and then I've heard we can give them another 10-day notice.
And then strike
go
again.
on strike again.
Well, if you need support, I will be out there.
Yeah.
In my
and it might
swag.
be colder, but we'll get you hats and mitts.
I feel like they had little canopies set up. It was actually cool.
And food.
Mate, I could have eaten. There was donuts. I had a bit of pizza. I think it was a Costco one. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
I do like that Costco pizza.
Yeah, not bad.
It was just a cheese one.
Yeah.
They had great music going. It literally felt like a little party.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it.
And I hope if it does happen again, I hope the employees that chose not to go out on strike will reconsider, so we get even more people out there.
Agree.
It's a hardship on anyone not to have a week's
This is
pay.
it. You don't actually get paid for striking. That was the bit and you can't use your
PTO or vacation time.
Yeah, vacation.
No, you get paid nothing, but it is what it is. Yep, there are people that make much less than I do, and they're out there. So guess what? I need to be out there too.
Yeah,
it's just like I was telling a coworker. It's just you either want to do it or you don't. I personally drew a line in the sand, and I'm going on strike.
Good for you.
Yeah. Anyways,
switching
Back,
subjects. I met Jason Momoa this week.
Yes, and I didn't even know who he was.
Okay, I
did.
You did? I mean, I knew who he was, but no, I wouldn't say I was a huge fan. Just take him or leave him. Like, he's good looking.
And what's he in? Like Aquaman or something?
Aquaman, yeah.
I've never seen that. Is that
Aqua? Aquaman. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that a movie at the theater or?
I don't think it is anymore. I mean, I'm sure it was at one point.
It's like on Netflix or something?
I think it was just an old movie. He sure has been in a ton of stuff. Mm-hmm. Was he in Fast and Furious, I think?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just huge.
Yeah.
But it was very random. Ashley had called me up and said, so I heard Jason Momoa was going to be at the Safeway on Mill Plain. Do you want to go? And I was like, why not?
Yeah, because she was down at the strike, yeah.
She's at the strike, and I was like, why not? And so she said 1:30, we'll get there at 1:30. I said, I'm pretty sure you'd probably have to get there a bit earlier, And she's like, maybe 1. And anyway, then I was speaking to Chrissa, and she's like, yeah, my co-worker's been waiting there for hours. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So anyway, once we got there was a line that snaked around, and around and around and around. Like every bit of the car park was like switchbacks almost, and then out onto the road and down the street. And we were so far out there. But the funnest part for me was just chatting to the people in the line.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a girl behind us had a bike and she was just, chatting away. And then the guy in front had met him before and wanted to meet him again. Like, he was at some other thing earlier that day. But long story short, I used my Aussie charm to wangle my way in. We were so far at the back that the odds of us even seeing him or getting – he was promoting his bottle of vodka.
Uh-huh.
And Chrissa had said, can you grab me a bottle?
Right.
So, we were so far back that there was only 3,000 bottles and these were all long gone.
Is it just called Jason Momoa?
No, it's called Melee vodka.
I wonder what that means.
I did look it up. I can't remember, but it was like it's Meili. I think it was like a Spanish word.
Oh.
Long story short, I managed to I said to this girl behind, like, I'm just going to go scout things out and I'll come back. And she's like, yeah, I'll mind your spot. Like, don't you worry. So I said to Ashley, come on, let's go and walk about.
Right.
And as we walked, I was just like, follow me. Just do whatever I do. So as we're walking, I merge into the line right before the entrance to Safeway.
Right.
And then I touched this girl on the back and I said, can I be your BFF? Like, can I just like cut the line? Like, and she's like, I didn't see anything. And I knew everyone behind me was going to be daggers. So I had to act like I was BFFs with this girl and, laughing and ha ha ha, like, yeah, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And she was really cool. And I think everyone behind was just like, oh, that she probably just was minding the spot for him.
Right.
Anyway, long story short, 10 seconds later, we then got in and they said, there's no more single bottles. If you want to buy a case for $180, you can. And 2 of the bottles were signed out of this case. Long story short, there was this table and I grabbed one of the bottles off it.
Oh, there you go.
And then I said, can I have another? And then Ashley got one. So we got one each.
Did you get one for Chrissa?
Yeah, well, I just got mine for Chrissa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I don't drink vodka. And honestly, like.
You might have friends that drink vodka.
I might.
Me.
I might have friends that drink vodka. I would have kept it for the bottle, but I could only get one.
That was nice of you.
So I was like, it means more to Chrissa than
Right,
it does to me.
right,
So
right.
I'm happy to do it. Anyway, then I cut the line again to go pay for it because it snaked around every aisle and I just wangled into 7 and the people behind me like, were you in this line? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, been here the whole time. And then they were complaining that they had a whole case because, like I said, there was not many single bottles or if any. And they're like, oh, we need a cart or whatever. So I said, oh, hang on. And I said to Ashley, I'm just going to go walk about. And then I grabbed a cart from them and bought it back. And then I was like BFFs with them. And so they're like, oh, my God, that's so kind. Anyway, long story short about meeting him, we went out, we got the bottles. Everyone had said he'd left. But anyway, we walked out and we see everyone like holding their cameras up, like snapping thing. And I'm like, oh, he's over there. So I then wangled my way back in and I found the girl with the bike, Kiki, and got back there. And I said to Ashley, run, like get in there. And literally right before that, he was maybe 3 people away. So I got in just in time that he came past and we took a photo together.
Did you say anything to him?
I said, g'day.
Oh.
And then he did his, I don't know, what do you call this, Hawaiian
I don't know.
sign with your hand, like a little.
The pinky up and the thumb
yes.
up. Yeah.
And I said, g'day. And I had his bottle. So I sort of held it up and said, g'day. And then Ashley, I was like, where is Ashley?
Yeah.
Like and then she goes, someone told me, don't you cut the line. And she listened to him. I was like, oh my God, you don't listen, you just go. Like act confident, act like you're meant to do this. So anyway, then long story short, went back to Ashley and then managed to see him again. And this time we got a group photo, like of her and I with him.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, he touched my shoulder.
Yeah, he kind of caressed
my shoulder.
Yes, that's what he did.
So that was cool. Another exciting thing happened to me.
Oh, and then I was going to say, and then when I called him a tall drink of water, you knew what I was talking about.
I knew what you were talking about.
So that must be also an Australian thing?
I think so. Like I feel like when you say a tall drink of water, it means very good looking.
Yeah, and tall and handsome.
And you have your latest tall drink of water crush is
His name's
Walt. From the show Longmire. I'm slowly getting addicted to this.
Yeah, so David and I, oh gosh, a few years ago, I don't even remember, maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 4, started watching Longmire, and it's on Netflix, and it's, a series, and it had different seasons, quite a few seasons, maybe even 5 or 6, I can't remember.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I saw.
And so Walt Longmire, and he's from your
Melbourne,
Australia.
He's obviously got an American accent in this show. It's basically, how would you describe it? Like a small town sheriff?
Well, he's in Montana. He's a Montana sheriff, like a good old boy. Very small town. There's
Very
a sheriff
small
and a
town.
couple deputies, and
They basically solve crimes
yeah.
each week. But
So-
each episode is its own.
yeah. And I told
Crime.
Amanda, well, you might like this because his main deputy sheriff is a female, and her name is Vic for like Victoria,
Yes.
and she's
beautiful.
yeah,
A good eye candy. And ironically, she was born and raised in Portland, Oregon.
yeah.
So
That's
I was
what you
like,
told me.
that is like so bizarre, like the Melbourne, the Portland connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice because you can watch those. They're about, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes
Yeah.
long, and each little show is an episode of its own. So you don't, you can just watch whenever.
Yeah,
and,
no, I'm
catch
really
up on
loving
it.
that.
Yeah.
You
were gonna say
Yeah,
something
we
else.
celebrated your grandson's 5th birthday,
Oh, can
Reese.
you believe it? 5
No, I
already.
cannot. He is so sweet and
Yeah.
such a cute kid.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cassie,
She's
his
a good
mum.
mom.
She's a fantastic mother.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's so adventurous and has a zest for life.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, he's
And he
not
likes to
just
do anything.
Yeah, like she will take him on hikes for miles.
Miles.
And
I think
he'll
his longest is like 9 miles.
Yeah, he just carries his own water and
Yeah.
like just happy.
Yeah.
Like, but it was cute. We had his favorite food, which was what did you call it? Mac and cheese
Chili mac.
Chili mac.
Yeah.
It was actually really good. The pork in inverted commas.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the
Yeah.
garlic bread.
And good garlic bread. Yeah.
And while we're on the food topic, let me just give a quick shout out to David for the incredible roast, Sunday roast.
Oh.
The gravy.
Wasn't that good?
It was amazing.
So I think we'll have that pork loin roast as a Sunday night dinner, maybe at least once a month.
Yeah, I'm loving that I've been adopted into your
Yeah.
family. I mean, I'm benefiting from this, like, obviously the beautiful family atmosphere. Like, I feel very loved. But the food, I feel like got a gourmet chef cooking for me.
Yeah, that was really good. And so we had the pork loin roast with this gravy that
Oh
was
my
from a
God.
recipe, but I think
If
it
that
had
was
garlic
bottled,
and honey,
You could
and,
sell that. Like, that was
yeah, and then dressing, which was stovetop,
yes.
which is good, and then
roasted Brussels sprouts. Oh my God. I did have to run off though, which I was a little bit disappointed to eat and run.
Oh yeah, you didn't tell me how that went.
I didn't because, I probably didn't rave about it because, okay, we get there. And for a start, like Chrissa had promised to take me because it was.
Well, tell them where you're talking about.
Okay, I went to the movies to see the Taylor Swift movie.
Yeah.
So you may remember last episode, Chrissa had said that she has this free pass. Well, not a free pass. She pays for a pass monthly. I think it was $22, and she can see as many movies as she wants. And I said, "Can you please?"
And then she can
me?"
take a person?
No, she can't. Like, I would have had to pay for myself. But I said, "Can you take me to see the Taylor Swift movie?" Because I kept seeing the posters, and I thought, oh, I really want to see it. So in my head, this is what I thought it was. She had a concert, and it was like behind the scenes of the concert, and you know what I mean? Like, it was sort of this. We get there, and the guy says, no free tickets, so you can't use your pass. And I'm like, why? And he goes, I don't know. That's what Taylor said.
Oh,
and I'm
so
like, what a
Carissa
bitch.
couldn't?
No, so she couldn't. So we had to pay.
How much was it?
Oh, my God. It was like $45 for both of us.
Really?
So anyway, I paid because I felt bad because she didn't even want to see it, and I was just like,
Right.
dragged her along. So then I was like,
And that was even before the food. Well, at least you had a full stomach.
I did, exactly. She bought me an ice cream, so thank you. Anyway, it literally was the concert, like just the concert, and the concert went for 3 hours.
Was it so? Did they tell you what city it was in? Where was it?
LA.
Oh,
It was at the whatever SoFi Stadium, whatever. But it literally was her. There was no behind the scenes. There was no her talking. It was literally a concert.
Huh.
The bright side was we saw it in this huge cinema. Like, you know how there's this regular cinemas and
Right.
there's this one that was like 2 stories high.
Right.
And there was maybe 8 people in the cinema.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much like we were dead center, had the whole thing to ourselves. Like, I would rather that than actually going to the concert.
Right.
With
Right.
thousands of people around me. Had a great view of, like, you know what I mean? But Didn't expect it to do. I probably should have just read what the movie was about. I don't know. I would have been that excited to just watch her concert. But she's a great voice. I like her.
Well, now it's like you can pretend you went to a concert.
I mean, I did literally
In
go to
LA,
her concert. Yeah.
Did
I'll
you
say
know
that.
very many of the songs?
I knew a lot of. I know. I'm very much like I listen to the radio, so I'm just whatever's top 40.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's on that, like I didn't know some of her more folky. Is that a word? Folky? Folky.
Yeah.
Folk songs. Carissa acted like she didn't want to go to this thing, like it was such a hardship. The bitch sang along to every song, and I'm like, how do you know this? And she's like, okay, I'm a Swiftie. And I was like, bitch, you have me fooled. Like I was like begging you to take me type thing. Overall, it was a fun evening. We were both tired though because it dragged on and on. Because you had texted me in the middle and said, are you home safe? And I'm like, no, I'm still at the bloody movie.
I text you, yeah.
I was still there. But overall, fun night. But I probably would have enjoyed eating the roast and then watching some Long Mile with you. Not going to lie.
Yeah, poor man was like, oh, I'd like to just stay and cuddle on the couch and get a,
especially when you got a full belly, because once I eat there, I like to then go lay on the couch and stretch
get
out
a blanket and
yes.
have Reese snuggle up to you.
Bloody your daughter keeps taking sneaky photos of me napping on the couch. But I did want to say back to Reese's birthday that you sent me away with a party favour.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and I was trying to rack my brain to think what it's called in Australia. So if someone could let me know, is that like a party bag, a party treat? Like there is a word we have, I just cannot think of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when my kids had birthdays and the other kids would come, then you would have little party bags.
Yeah, and it would have like like little
like
candies.
A pencil and a candy and a notebook and
yes, like this is a thing, but I just can't think what it's called.
Yeah,
but anyway, I got these lovely Bath and Body Works hand creams.
Yeah.
And you told me to put him in my car, and I did. I put him in my little console.
Well, it's getting chilly now, so your hands kind of dry out.
Yes.
And your two don't have much scent.
No, because I have issues. I get very like sinus headaches from like strong scents. Mm-hmm. And it tends to be things that are more fake, like your fake vanillas or your like your artificial scents. Mm-hmm. Like if it's a essential essence, whatever you call that.
Yeah, essential oil.
Essential oil. It's not too bad. Another exciting thing I did was I went and saw my niece Annie play football.
Oh, that would have been fun.
I know. I did show. I was excitedly showing you all the photos and videos.
Yeah, she's
because
such a cute little
you
girl.
are Annie's BFF.
Yeah, I am.
Annie adores you, and of course you adore her. But yeah, I couldn't understand a bloody rule of this football.
And I said to Amanda, so often over here, football traditionally, quote, is a male sport, but Annie was on the team. So when
I do think, you
and I said, were there any other girls? And Amanda's like,
I didn't even occur to me watching her. Like I saw her sitting on the bench. I saw all these guys around her.
And some of those guys on her team were tall.
Twice as tall as her. It didn't actually occur to me that she was the only girl, but I honestly think she was.
Yeah.
And in both teams, like the team she was playing. But long story short, she kicked ass.
Yep.
She got a touchdown.
Yeah.
It was incredible to watch.
Yeah.
Like I just still didn't understand it. Like they moved. It was the most slowest starting game.
Yeah.
And they had 11 seconds left and it dragged on for like 20 minutes. I was like, what is happening? And they were like 48-0.
Yeah.
And they were debating over this 11 seconds. I'm like, oh my God, let it go. Like no one's going to, like it's a game over.
So you didn't tell me that. So Annie's team was 48.
I did. They won.
Well, I knew she got a touchdown.
Yeah. Like 48.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. But then I did.
Yeah, that's very exciting for her.
It was so cool. Like I'm glad I went. Like she was excited to see me, and I took her crumble cookies.
Yeah.
Like because when she comes up and stays, we always go. That's our thing. Yeah. We go to crumble. Like every week they come out with this new flavors. Like it's like a 6 flavors, and you don't know what they're going to be every week.
Oh.
So every week we're like, oh, what is it? Right. And then we'll pick one, and we'll be excited to go. So anyway, we'd been chatting before and she's like, oh, like there's these flavors out. And I was like, And then she's like, yeah, I would get this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So anyway, I took her a 4-pack.
Okay.
So I actually took her a
nice.
variety. And yeah, she was literally sitting in the car after the game, like munching a bite of every one.
Right.
But I had so much fun. Like
That's
it was a long drive. She was down near Newport. So it was probably like 3.25 hours.
Yeah.
And I had to turn around after the game and come back and work. So
Yeah, that was very nice.
it was a long day, but no, I really enjoyed it. I
And
had
you know
fun.
what?
Proud auntie moment.
Yep, and as things go, that will be something that she will remember, that you drove all the way
Yeah.
down on a work day, brought her some crumble cookies, and watched her score a touchdown.
So I'm going to do it again. She's had her last game of football yesterday or last week, whenever it was. So that's over. But we're gonna do
Does
a
she
weekend
do other
somewhere.
sports too?
Yes, she goes straight into. Is it basketball starting?
Oh, probably.
This girl is sporty.
Yeah.
And I love that she gave it a try. Like she's like, I want to give this a go.
Yeah.
And like especially being the only girl.
Yeah.
Like good for her.
Yeah, she's a very cute girl.
She is. She's beautiful. What else has been happening with you?
Not
I've
too
just
much.
been talking about me.
Well, not too much. We're looking kind of when you look out like down into the field and you're looking kind
Yeah.
of past
We're
the
watching
garden.
cows.
Yeah, those
To
are
our right, they're the neighbours' cows.
those
are
are
they?
the neighbors. Big Jim, who you haven't met yet. We'll have to introduce you to Big Jim.
I've seen him, but I have not spoken to him.
And then his wife Debbie. She's from England. She's from
Okay.
England. Apparently her brother
Bloody
lives.
foreigner.
Yeah, her brother lives very close to Hampton Court.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You've been there.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Anyways, that reminds me, there was somebody, I can't remember where it was when I was talking to somebody. I don't think it was you. We were talking about ghosts.
No.
And
I just say, Ona has just rested her head on your knee and it is so cute.
yeah, she's our spoiled little child dog.
She really is. Last night, well, not last night, but the other day when we celebrated the birthday, she pinched a little cupcake.
Oh, that was sitting on on your
Yeah. And it was so cute. I couldn't even say anything. Like I was just watching her and she just was like, Kip. But yeah, she's a sweet dog.
Yeah, we were watching Longmire.
Yeah, and she just came up and so quietly, like as if no one was watching, and stole my.
You know, she's a good dog, but sometimes she just has bratty behavior. And I think when we got her, she was probably more well behaved, and then have slowly like spoiled her a little bit more.
Oh, she's being very cute right now.
But yeah, you know, when your kids grow up and then you get an animal and you spoil them like your little kid.
Aww.
But anyway, so Jim and Debbie are next door. So all those black cows are theirs. Those are Angus. And then you can't really see Dixie's cows, but they're to the left.
Right.
But if we, walked outside here or down past the barn on the other side, so those are Pinsgauer cows.
Yeah, apparently
they're brown
from
with white.
Austria,
I believe.
Yeah, because we did have Dixie on and she chatted about her Pinsgauer.
Yeah, she has very nice cows.
Yeah.
And so it's nice, as you can see, just sitting out. Even though we're 5 minutes from town, we feel like
we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 20 acres. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got a beautiful barn. The arena's just there.
Yeah, we have a lady that does riding lessons in the arena a couple times a week for little girls, so they come. And
I will, once we finish this, we'll take a photo of us with this beautiful view.
Okay.
For our
Maybe
Facebook
I'll comb my
page.
hair. Do I need to comb my hair?
No, please look exactly. She's got a, born to run, cowgirl, tough. Yeah, she's got this cute, she looks like a farm girl right now.
Yeah.
You look cute.
Goodwill.
I, on the other hand, don't.
You do.
I have a face for radio right now. And even then, I don't have time for the voice for it because I've been all crackly. We have some feedback from last week.
Oh, we do?
Well, not from last week, just from our...
Okay.
Just feedback we've got during the week.
Okay.
Everyone loved your episode.
When we went on location.
Yeah, Wendy,
did they have
Mum, everyone.
So do you think this is good to do the on location things.
I do. I'm becoming more confident with it. I guess initially I was like, well, how do I move the equipment? Like, you know what I mean? Because I have a little, I don't know what you call it, a deck, a switchboard. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know.
This part. And then
Control board.
And then it's just basically the microphones. So it's really not hard to set up.
Yep. Throw it in the suitcase.
Yeah, my famous suitcase. But yeah, no, I'm getting comfortable. The other thing is that TikTok has been really getting some momentum, and David was on a TikTok with me, and you're David.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've just got a lot of momentum going, and I'm getting really into it. Like I feel like it's
you're getting to be quite the celebrity.
What do we say, celebrity? I mean, I feel like things have gone viral. Like Krista and I did a one, and it was silly. It's like 1 minute. Do Americans really call it sophomore, freshman, blah,
senior.
blah, blah. Yeah, and that is like 400,000 views.
Do they don't call it that in Australia?
No, we would just say like year 9, 10, 11, 12.
And see, in Canada, we do that too. Yeah.
Do you say year, blah, blah, blah?
No,
or
we would say grade 9, grade 10.
Okay.
Grade 11,
so,
grade 12.
Same thing, but we say year.
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, that's sort of exciting for me, keeping me busy. But I didn't want to let an episode go. Even though we're on location, I still need to do our Guess the Australian Word game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you thought you were going to swingle out of that, but no. Okay, now I feel like you have the benefit because you're Canadian.
Right.
And we often have a lot of similar things.
Right.
So you probably know these.
Okay,
But let me go. Number 1, cabbie.
Taxi.
Yeah, taxi. What?
Taxi car. Taxi
driver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Truckie. Ooh.
Is that a truck driver?
Yeah. God, this is too easy. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel because I feel like I've done them all. Like I'm actually now trying to rack my brain.
Now we can just make up random words.
Yeah, exactly. So in whatever word it is, just add an IE at the end.
Okay.
You know, like microphone, Mikey.
Mikey.
You know, like I'm just going to make random shit up. But I feel like I can just recycle the ones at the beginning because who's ever going to go back and listen to those? Like, and be like, oh, you said that on episode 3.
Right.
Exy. EXY.
EXY.
Yeah.
An executive.
Ooh, no.
Oh.
Like, that is so exy, but it was
excellent.
Worth it. No.
Expensive.
Yes.
Excellent.
Far out, you're good.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent. Expensive.
Expensive.
Sorry. Number 4, oldies.
The oldies, the old ones.
The more specific, more details.
Old songs.
No.
Old records.
No, it's more about a person or type of person or group of people.
Old hippies.
Nope.
Old stinky people.
No. Yes. No, that was exactly what I was referring to. Now, like the oldies, like I want to go out tonight, but the oldies will ground me if I don't go.
Oh, the parents.
Parents. The oldies. And last one, a snag.
A snag is like a cranky female snag.
I do know some of those, but no, that's not a snag.
A snag is like a snafu.
I don't know what a snafu is, but no.
Are you sure? If you don't know what a snafu, like
100%. No,
hitch.
it's not. No.
No? Okay.
It's a sausage.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
snafu
snag.
is something like, darn it, there's a snafu, like something happens and it wrecks the
plan. Like a kink in the wheel or something.
Yeah, a hitch in the plan.
Hitch in the plan.
Snafu.
A snafu. Yeah, no.
I don't know if I made that up or if that's Canadian. Yeah,
right.
snafu.
So I've been thinking,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're chatting about this. Well, we've been just chatting about it in general, but about everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. We sort of went down a path and I sort of, was like I'll tell everyone this story that, you know, sometimes when something happens and you think it's the worst thing that could happen and it turns out the best thing that could happen or whatever. Like everything happens for a reason. So I'd bought this car.
This is in Australia.
Maybe I was like 25 or something. And I'd bought this brand new car. It was a convertible.
What
it was
colour?
a sports car. It was silver. Not my favourite, but it, you know, like it was just gorgeous. It was like I'd really lashed out. I want to say at the time it was like $35,000. It was a lot of money back in the day.
Wow.
And anyway, I had this $500 Daihatsu Charade and I was trading it in.
Right.
So I'm driving there and
Daihatsu. I don't even think we have Daihatsu.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Okay. It was like a little hatchback
like
type
a Korean thing or something.
Yeah. So I'm driving there. There's a car in front of me and then my mum. Mm-hmm. So she's coming as well. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm driving my $500. They're giving me $500 for this trade-in. Mm-hmm. Okay. So at the traffic lights, waiting to go to this dealership, and a car comes behind me, smashes into me, hits me so hard I hit the car in front of me. So I'm like sandwiched. And I get out and I'm like, oh, my God. Like I'm literally about to trade this car in $500. Worst day ever. So I get there and I'm like, so you still want to buy it? And they're like, no. So anyway, we have to drag this thing like, crash front and back. And I'm like, this is the worst day ever. Like I was going to, I think the car was the car that I was buying was $35,500. You know what I mean? And like,
so you thought,
I was like, round it down. Yeah. So disappointed. Long story short, I put in an insurance claim and I got a check for $3,500.
Wow.
So I was like, at the time, the worst thing that could happen. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
If that hadn't have happened.
Yeah.
And I just straight away put that on my, onto the loan.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is my story that I think of every time something happens.
Yeah.
Like for your strike, for example, every time something happens, I think of this in the back of my head that there's a greater purpose or
right.
Yeah. And
sometimes at the time you don't really know what you're how it's going to turn out or how you might really benefit from it.
Yeah. But I trust my gut and the universe?
Yeah, it's like David says something. It's like the greater, I don't know, I'd have to ask him what it is, but yeah, things just happen for a reason.
Yes.
You meet certain people.
Yep.
Like as we sit out here, and I'm not going to go down a path, but this place we bought, maybe 30 years ago, just a flat piece of property with my ex-husband. Mm-hmm. And then things happened, whatever. And then he had wanted me, and that was my thing to get this place in the divorce. It was quite different when I got it. And so then we've worked really hard. And then just by random, I had this is down a different path, but I had a friend, a nurse at the hospital, that her and her two kids came and lived with me for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she was having some problems. And so I was just hanging out, doing my thing, and I was going to do a lot, being really, very busy. But anyways, Michelle said, Julie, you need a life. Seriously, get a life. And so she put me
Good
on
advice.
She put me on Match.
Oh, this is going down a path.
Did you not know that? That's where I met.
That was Match.
Yeah, and that's where I met David.
Wow.
And
this is 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 and a little bit years ago.
Yeah, I do remember you just had your anniversary.
And David had gone on Match, and his niece, Jordan, who is Jamie's sister, had read over his profile.
Aww.
And so then we met. David was never a farmer before he came here. And then, look at how much we've been able to do.
To ask a question, if you did not meet David, do you think you would still be
I wouldn't
here in this house?
I wouldn't have been able to stay here.
Because it's just
so
much work?
Too much physical work, taking care of the equipment that I don't know how to do. And even with Cassie here now, and she's very good, but there's just lots. It would be too overwhelming.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming before I met David.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
I would just look out the window and be overwhelmed.
And you guys
but then it's
do
worked
so
out.
Much work. Like, it's gorgeous, like manicured gardens. And
But then it's worked out because now Reese gets to grow up here.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
And
it's a great life for him.
Yeah.
And Cassie is such a hard worker. Like, you should be so proud of her.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that
worker.
you are. But she's right now just down there to our left is cutting back
the brush and shrubs. Yeah,
to make like another horse pasture.
Yeah, because when you have a big area, everything takes a long time to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's been working on that.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yep, and you helped her do some of the panel painting.
I did. I had a lot of fun doing that.
And they looked like brand new when you're done.
And you know what? It feels like it was a month ago. I mean, it might have been more than that, but it felt like it was the middle of summer.
Yeah.
It was a really hot day.
Yeah. And now it's
I feel like
this
was like another lifetime away.
Yeah.
This is now crappy weather.
Yeah, yeah. So, but anyways, at least there's lots to do, and it's nice to come and when you come in the evening and you sit and it's quiet, you don't even often hear any cars. Now and then you might hear a car drive by.
It's literally serenity.
Yeah, the coyotes were they loud at your house the other night?
I don't hear them.
Oh, you don't? They were really loud.
Really?
Like they're right over at Dixie's. They're down sometimes on the other side of the arena.
Ooh.
And yeah, really, really loud.
That's crazy. Do you often see them?
Don't really see them. But sometimes I've got a flashlight that shines really far, so I go out and kind of shine it, and then they quieten down for a while.
Creepy.
So maybe they think I'm there.
But yeah, back to that. I think the reason I was saying it is because I want to get a tattoo, and I'm thinking just along this sort of bone of my skinny arm. I know I'm being facetious. My model-esque arm. But I want to get this quote, and this is what is prompting this whole conversation. When it is all finished, you will discover it was never random.
Yeah.
So basically, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Is a nicer way of saying that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just
well, and when you were saying that to me, and I said, the other thing is people that choose to be more positive about things.
Right.
Then you do look for the good.
Yes. I mean, I do my days of happiness.
Yeah.
I've been doing I just hit 8 years.
Holy cow.
I know. If I had a little round of applause for myself, a pat on my back. What is that, a round of applause?
Sounds like a siren. No, so you choose to pick things
I do
that are positive.
And initially it was hard when I started this. Basically, there was 100 days of happiness challenge. And everyone was like, you could not post on Facebook for 100 days.
Right.
And I was like, game on.
Yeah.
Like someone waved a little red flag in front of a bull. I'm like, I can do this. And once I got to the 100 day, at the end of it, I was like, it actually made me every day conscious. Like all day long, I was like, oh, could that be my happiness? And I'd snap a photo. Like I was constantly looking for things that made me happy. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize how many little things did make me happy.
Right.
Like Ona now, like laying with her head on your lap.
Yeah.
Like
anything.
That makes me happy, like looking at her.
So stealing your cupcake.
So exactly. So anyway, long story short, I've been doing 8 years now, and I do every day like think of the little things that make me happy.
Yeah, and I really think that can even kind of change your personality and your outlook on things.
Yeah. Just
look for something to be happy and grateful for, because
and there always is something.
Yeah.
Like some days it's been rough. Like I'm laying in bed, I'm like, oh my God, like what is it? What can make me happy? And then I'll like flick through my photos on my phone, like just laying there, and I'll be like, oh, that's the cutest photo of my little cat America, or you know what I mean? Like genuinely brings a smile to my face. Yeah. So there's all like, no matter how bad you think things are, there's always something to bring
there's
so many
there's so many things that are happening right now that and you know, I really don't watch the news.
As do I. I feel like I live in a bubble.
Mm-hmm. I think I've said this before, but I'll go home at night after work and say to David, is there anything that I need to know about?
Right.
Because, well, I was talking to my mom and I think I've mentioned how she does this, but she, is 89. My mom lives up in Canada. She's always watching the news.
Yeah.
So evening news is from 5 to 7, and then probably morning and lunchtime news. But anyways, I was talking to her last night, and she said that she had been watching about some killing or wreck or something in the U.S.
Yes, and this I randomly did hear.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, Mom, I didn't hear about that. So it's crazy that, sometimes it's my mom who's up in Canada, 89, and she's the one that fills me in on all these, some big bad hurricane, tornado. It's not that I don't want to know about these things, But, sometimes you can't do anything about a mass shooting. Like,
No.
mass shooting on the East Coast, we can't do anything about that here.
No, speaking of, I saw the front page of today's paper, and there was some shooting in Maine.
Huh.
16 people, I don't know.
Huh. Was it like
a school shooting? I think
was it school shoot?
I think I don't know. I'm just making that up now.
Maybe
Don't blame me. Don't. Yeah, I feel like I just saw it said Maine shooting.
Yeah. So, like, what can we do about that?
Nothing. Just try and have enjoy what time you have, because honestly, you don't know what tomorrow could bring.
No,
I mean, I literally could get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
I
hope it would be
a yellow one. A yellow school one. Yeah. That would be sort of,
or maybe it would
funny.
better be hit by a fire truck.
Ooh.
Because then all the handsome firemen could get out, and you could keep your eyes
dramatically
closed.
Dying in front of them.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, well, you'd have to wait for one of the female firefighters, but
CPR.
Oh, please give me CPR.
Yeah.
Just press on my chest a little harder.
Oh God! Wow, Julie. That just reminds me of Cassie, your daughter. Love her to death, and she said she's been sick this week, and I feel like this is my fault.
Reese had it because
when
he goes to
I'm going to blame myself, but I feel like I did spread the love, and I did say from day one, like, don't come near me.
Right, and we're like, we don't care.
I know, so I feel like I did warn everyone, and Cassie literally came and gave me a hug and a kiss, like, we don't care, and I was like, and now she's sick, so I feel bad. But anyway, she's like, oh, I don't know how I got this, and I said, well, when you took some NyQuil the other night, you and I did have a little pash or whatever. She's a good sport, your kid.
Yeah. And so what plans do you have coming up?
Nothing exciting. I couldn't even think. Just been working and nothing terribly exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got your big wedding.
We've got that coming up, and then I guess I am going in November 10th, so I'm going to go up to Victoria, Canada.
No, oh yes, see my
uncle.
I thought it was so cute. You have this uncle, and he literally planned your trip.
Uh-huh.
Literally, you will leave your house and drive 3 hours and blah, blah, blah to here.
Yeah.
You will do this. You will stay here. You will
Isn't that good?
And he literally wrote a 3-page letter.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. That was so nice for me because he likes to do that. This is my mom's brother. And he's great at it, and he likes to do the research. And I've just been so busy lately for whatever reason and didn't really have the time to research things. I kind of told him what my general plan of what I was going to do. So then he wrote it all down for me, and all I do was go on the website that he listed for me and, book the ferry, 2 trips on the ferry and the hotel room, and bing, bang, it's done.
He's a bloody legend. Yeah. I'll have to give him a road trip and get him to plan it. I do enjoy planning road trips.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you have time, Yeah,
exactly. I'm all about what's that saying? The destination, not the journey. No, the journey, not the destination. So my journey for me is also planning it, looking at, like you said, when you were going there, I'm like, oh, like big ball of string. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'd be like already like what to do.
So you stopped at some Chinese?
Yeah, I'm going to, I know.
Is that like between here and Pendleton?
Yes. I've got the app Roadside America.
Right.
I'm going to have to tell you it because it was sort of interesting to see.
Maybe we should put that on our phone.
Yes. You had to pay. I want to say it was maybe $5 for one state or $10 for the entire US. But that was really cool because you can just bring it up and it has a map or like a list and you can just be like whatever's near you.
Right.
And then you just hit navigate and it will take you right to it. And it gives cool little facts. And I don't know, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Like even when you're in like the area you're going, there's probably like the largest axe or, you know what I mean? But anyway, can you believe we have just talked for an hour and I feel like we've just...
Yeah, and you didn't even ask me what my...
I have a question for you. I do have a question for you. If you could go back to any point in US...
Well, now it's not going to be as funny because... Anyways, go ahead.
Any point in US history, what would it be?
Well, I've heard you ask this of people.
I know, and I feel like you have just a little bit
one day I said to Amanda,
neglected.
oh, you should ask that of me. And I don't know, for whatever reason, and hopefully this doesn't give away any part of my personality.
Ooh.
But I'm like, what time would that be? And you know what would be kind of fun?
Oh, God. I feel like it's going to be some tragedy and you're going to be, it'll be fun.
I think it would be I think it was the 70s.
Oh, not the recent future. Okay, do tell.
And to be a groupie for some of those bands.
That is like the most random answer anyone has given.
Like Jim Morrison, The Doors.
Wow. Okay.
Like, these people are passed away now, so, you know.
And would you be, like literally going back to his room type groupie?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, hopefully nobody's listening to this. Like Leonard Skinner.
Wow.
You know, Ronnie Van Zant, you know who I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, he's had kind of long. Like, that's just not my type. That's not what I grew up. Well, you know, I grew up a little country girl. But, you know, he's got the long hair.
But you would want to be a groupie.
sure smoker, drinker.
Wow.
And he's like, and I'm down on the front stage
going,
whoa. And he's like,
throwing
whatever.
To him.
Well, I don't know about that, but, you know, and he waves me up and you're
then partying and then going back to
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still good with being on the grassy knoll at the JFK
Watching
shooting.
JFK.
I mean, that sounds horrific. But, I mean.
So you think if you were there, you could maybe figure out who did it?
Maybe. Like, I would want to know for fact, did the shot come from the grassy knoll? I mean, I would probably investigate this thing myself while I'm there, while I'm back in time.
Yeah. And you do think that a hit was put out on him for what he was doing in
I do
politics.
think it was a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Like the fact that, oh God, I can't think of his name. Lee Harvey Oswald was then murdered.
Yeah.
Why was it Jack Ruby or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just seems so.
That was just a cover up.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm very conspiracy theory-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't even think that they really had a moon landing.
No.
Do you still think that they did not?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
I don't. The fact that no one has been back, and the fact that it was like, the president was like, let's do this, you know, like we need to do the moon race, whatever. And then it just happens with the technology back then in the little tinfoil wrapped thing. Ta-da.
So do you think it was just all in a studio or really?
Oh, maybe in the desert.
In the desert.
Yeah.
And just a lot of, the scenery built up to look like the.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
You know what? We should watch that together.
Love that.
And see if we can point out any, like, little.
I mean, there's been
wasn't there
things
even
like
a glitch
the flag
of time?
waves and the fact that it was like beamed back to Earth.
Was the flag waving?
Well, it was, but I think it was. They had said anyone can justify anything, and I mean I don't know for a fact
because there's not really supposed to be wind up there, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, like I said, I honestly don't know either way, but I have my doubts. Huh. Like I'd put money on the fact that it hasn't happened. Huh. I just look crazy right now. I need to stop talking. Somebody
somewhere knows, or maybe that someone has passed away, but their family knows.
Yes.
You know?
100%. Like, people have to know.
Yeah, and like the JFK thing.
Yeah.
Somebody knows the truth of that.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
and you know, that's a whole other topic. If you ever have my David on, you know,
he is fascinating.
Yeah, and he's very smart about a lot of things.
Oh my
God. Reads and he researches. And sometimes he'll say things, many times, that I had no idea on. So I learned these things. But, you know, speaking of like things happen, well, when I say things happen for a reason, here with politics and how things happen, sometimes it's just so staged and planned, you know, and we're just all following along and we're at the mercy of somebody else that's making all these.
Yeah.
Decisions. That's why you just have to live your life and have fun.
Exactly. Like not take it too seriously.
We don't have any
No. But anyway, it's about time to wrap it up.
Okay, well, we're going to, we could, do you want some hot chocolate or something?
Yeah.
And then we'll run down and see how Cassie's doing.
Love it. Okay.
And check out on that.
Love it. We'll have a great time at the wedding. Send my love.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, when she comes back this way. And if Brady ever comes this way.
Oh, my God.
We'll get him
on. To get him on.
Yeah.
Yes, I need a bull.
Yeah. And they've moved.
What do you call it? A bullfighter? Bull rider?
Rider.
Bull rider.
Have you ever been to a rodeo?
Yes.
Okay.
I went to one in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah, that's just a small one.
It's very small.
Yeah.
Anyway, any questions or feedback, please reach out to our Facebook page. Leave us a voicemail. Links in the show notes. If you'd like to support us and buy me a coffee next week, jump onto buymeacoffee.com/GetAUSA. Rate and review us. And as we always say, Julie,
if it's not a 5, just pass on by.
That sounded very nice, like very sweet. If it's not a 5, just pass on by.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Just get lost.
Yeah.
I just took it to a path. Anyway, thank you for allowing me to use your beautiful property as a studio.
Oh, you're welcome. Actually, it worked out fairly well, I think.
Yes, I look forward to having you again. Obviously, you're going to come back because you now are. You and Cassie are part of the woodwork. Okay. I feel like you guys are just the hosts.
Well, we do actually. I felt like, I don't know, I just feel kind of tired, and so I didn't think I was very funny. We weren't. But we chit-chat like this all the time. So it's just
this is our talk.
This is our thing. Just
like I always feel like we could have done 85 podcasts before we actually do a podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
And usually we're a lot funnier.
We are. We've both been feeling under the weather, but, you know, the show must go on.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
This is what we do.
Have a great week.
You also.
We'll speak to you guys soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.